Welcome everyone to today's episode, International Relationships in the European Union. We are discussing how the UA interacts with the world politically, economically and socially. I will be asking each of our 7 guests one question. Let's begin with Tanya. How does the UA act as a global political player?
So the EU acts as a global player by combining the strength of 27 member states into one political voice. It doesn't rely on military power like traditional superpowers, but focuses on diplomacy, economic influence, and international agreements. Through institutions like the European Commission, the Council, and the European External Action Service, the European Union negotiates deals, promotes human rights, and sets global standards. Its strength lies in soft power, shaping rules that other countries follow to access the European market. Even when member states disagree, coordinated action gives the European Union a strong and stable presence on the world stage.
I think it's a good idea and this is a good answer. So maybe we can ask Nastya now. What are the biggest security challenges for the UA today?
Security challenges are evolving quickly. Traditional threats like Russia's invasion of Ukraine forced the EU to rethink in defense strategies and invest more in military cooperations. But modern threats such as cyber attacks, disinformation campaigns, and hybrid warfare are just as dangerous. Critical infrastructure, hospital, and election are often targets. The European Union responds by strengthening cooperation through PESCO, joint cyber defense teams, and sought strategic partnership with NATO. However, the biggest challenges is the aligning the priorities of different member states, creating until in a world where tiers are increasingly undifficult.
Yeah, this is also a good idea, but maybe Davidas can answer to our another question. Why is the UA considered an economic superpower?
I think the EU is an economic superpower because it has one of the world's largest single markets, over 440 million consumers. This gives the EU enormous leverage in global trade when it sets standards like GDPR for data protection or environmental regulations. Companies worldwide must adapt if they want access to EU markets. The EU will also secure major trade deals with countries like Japan and Canada, creating really stable business environments. But with economic power comes responsibility, balancing open trade, with protecting strategic sectors from global competitors like China and the United States is now one of the EU's main economic challenges.
Wow, great, Davidas. Thank you for your knowledge. And now I think it would be a good idea continuing with Carolina, who is a student from Lithuania, and she's really active in European issues. So, Carolina, welcome to our podcast.
Hello.
Hello. How do you think that European international relations affect young people nowadays?
Okay, so young people benefit directly from EU international cooperation. Programs like Erasmus Plus allow students to study abroad, learn new languages, and gain international experience. Trade agreements create job opportunities in foreign companies operating in the EU. EU mobility rules make it easier to travel, work, or start businesses across borders. International relations also shape digital rights, climate policy, and education standards, all areas that impact the daily lives and future of young Europeans. In short, The EU's global decision helped define the opportunities available to our generation.
Carolina, thank you so much. It was great talking to you. Now we could go to Elias with the following question, which is, why is migration such a complex issue for the European Union?
So migration is complex because EU member states experience it differently. Southern countries deal with most arrivals, northern countries process the most asylum applications, and the eastern nations focus more on border security. The challenge is creating a common system that is fair for everyone. The EU aims to combine strong external borders with humanitarian responsibility, offering protection to people fleeing wars or persecution. It also cooperates with non-EU countries to manage migration routes and supports global humanitarian aid. The complexity comes from balancing security, responsibility, and solidarity among 27 nations.
Thank you, Elias. Thank you so much. Migration is a topic that affects us all European countries. We also have today with us Dimitra, who is a specialist in climate change and environmental issues. So, Dimitra, welcome to our podcast.
Hello, everyone.
I have a question for you, which is from our fans, from our podcast fans. So, how does climate and energy policy influence the Europe's international role?
Okay, so climate policy is becoming one of the European Union's most powerful diplomatic tools. Through the European Green Deal, the European Union wants to lead the world in clean energy and environmental standards. This also affects foreign relations because energy is geopolitical, especially after reducing reliance on Russian gas. The European Union invests heavily in renewables, energy independence, and green technology. It also includes climate commitments in trade agreements, encouraging other countries to follow similar standards. So, environmental policy is now shaping the European Union's identity as a global leader in sustainability.
Thank you, Dimitra. Thanks a lot. So, Carol, what direction is the EU likely to take in the next decade?
The UA is moving toward deeper cooperation in defense, climate, strategy and digital technologies and border management. The world is becoming less stable, which means UA countries increasingly understand the value of unity. We can expect more joint military projects, more investments in clean energy, and stricter digital regulations. The UA will also continue balancing its relationships with powerful players like US, China, and Russia. Overall, the next decade is likely to bring a stronger, more integrated UA. One of that plays a major role in shaping global rules. Thank you to all of our speakers for their insights. International relationships in the UA are complex, but they really shape our daily lives more than we realize. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.